Hey everyone, just wanted to make a quick video. I keep watching everything to try to learn more about the new pistol brace ruling, watching the same videos you are. And I notice that everyone who is not a lawyer famously says, quote, "I'm not a lawyer. This is not legal advice. You should go seek legal counsel," end quote. The reason that's terrible advice is any lawyer who is certified to practice law in their state cannot ethically ever advise someone to not follow a currently enforceable law. Um, Even if that lawyer thinks that the rule or the law is unconstitutional, as I do, I think this pistol brace rule will be completely struck down in the future. But as we all remember the bump stock case, and I mentioned it in a prior video, that took years to come to fruition. The Bruin case was years to come to fruition. Our gun rights get taken and takes years to come to a legal conclusion to try to get them back or substantiate our belief that it was an unconstitutional law. In the meantime, were those laws enforced? Of course. Did honest, hardworking American citizens like you and me spend our money and suffer consequences? Absolutely. Same thing with the pistol brace rule. So please, don't take legal advice. Don't seek legal counsel because that lawyer is going to ethically have to tell you to follow the current law as it stands that day. Um, it just is what it is. As we sit here as of February 2023, the ATF pistol brace rule is current law as of January 31st, 2003. So outside of giving you legal advice, you have to comply with the law in some way or another. And they give you, they being the Fed boys, gave you 4 or 5 different options. You can research those options, then ask for legal advice about those options. But one of those options can never be, hey, give me legal advice to not comply. Because as we all know, an unjust law is an unconstitutional law and it shouldn't be followed. We get that. That's in our history. And I agree with it. The problem is you can't give that legal advice. So I'm telling you, my legal advice to you is if you don't want bad advice, don't seek legal advice because that lawyer could subject his bar license and discipline if he advises you not to follow one of the conditions the federal government has given you with the pistol brace rule. So do your best, do what's right for you. But the worst advice is to go seek legal advice and then expect that lawyer to be like, oh, don't comply with the law. They cannot ethically do that. I've even seen some comments about lawyers destroying them on social media because they're like, oh, that lawyer is a communist. He's not American. He's not a patriot. No, ethically, he would lose his or her bar license if they said to not follow the current law that's enforceable as it stands when they give you that advice. So do your research, do what's right for you. There's a great firearms instructor that loves to say, you do you, boo boo. And he knows who he is, so I always give him direct credit and quote. It's not my quote, it's his, and it cracks me up every time he says it in his videos. And he's a great instructor as well, great person as well. And you'll know who he is. If you're in the gun community and you watch YouTube videos and you do your own research, you know who he is too. But yeah, you do you. You do what's right for you, but don't go seek legal advice, especially if you want that lawyer to tell you, don't comply, it's unconstitutional. Listen, my personal opinion, it's 100% unconstitutional. It should be struck down by a federal court sooner rather than later. But do I think that's going to happen? Because I've been in the justice system for 25 years. I don't think it's going to happen soon. I think we're going to have to wait years. Or, God willing, in 2024, we get a real commander in chief with a real spine and a real set of the things they're trying to ban across the country, saying they give you clots. If we get a pair of those big boys, or it could be girl with big boys attached in office in 2024, then it could be sooner through executive order. But until then, the worst advice on this issue is go seek legal advice for them to give you advice that the law is unconstitutional, you don't have to follow it. An ethical attorney can never give you that advice, period, on any rule or law that is current and enforceable when they give you that advice. So please, you do you. Stay safe, stay free, stay a patriot. God bless America.